It was February 14th, 1939. The world's heart beat uncertainty, heavy with the looming shadow of war. In Pennsylvania, Gilbert and Eleanor Krause sat in their modest living room, a fire crackling weakly in the hearth. On the table between them lay a letter, its edges creased from the weight of indecision. It bore the seal of an organization facilitating aid overseas. The words within were stark: children, Vienna. Immediate rescue effort needed. Volunteers at great risk. Gilbert turned to Eleanor, his fingers trembling as he held the letter. "They're asking for help, but we could lose everything. Our safety, our lives. Eleanor, what can we do?" Eleanor, a woman of serene confidence, placed her hand over his. Her eyes burned with determination. Love isn't just about words or comfort, Gil. It's action. It's a sacrifice. If we don't do this, who will? These children, they're waiting for someone to fight for them. That was all it took. Within days, the couple left the safety of their home for Nazi-occupied Austria, a place where kindness was as rare as sunlight in a storm. They were stepping into the lion's den, their true identities hidden under layers of deception. The mission was to save 50 children from the clutches of the Nazi regime. But what unfolded was far beyond anyone's expectations. As they crossed the German border, they were greeted by the sharp, barking commands of Nazi soldiers. Eleanor's heart raced as she clutched the forged papers disguised as harmless business documents. She glanced at Gilbert and saw his jaw tighten. They were both terrified, but they didn't look back. The horrors of Vienna were worse than they'd imagined. Streets were lined with propaganda, and whispers of fear hung in the air. They saw children with hollow eyes, clutching their parents as soldiers patrolled the streets. Parents begged them, pleading with them to take their children. "Please," one mother sobbed, clutching Eleanor's hand, "my son, Jacob. He is all I have." Every child they selected bore the weight of a shattered family. They knew they could only take 50, and each decision tore at their souls. But even as they finalized the list, they refused to accept this as the end of their mission. On the day they were set to leave Austria with the children, Gilbert overheard something chilling. In a cafe, 2 SS officers were discussing a new directive. Deportations of whole families to camps would begin within weeks. They realized the children they were rescuing were only a fraction of the innocents in danger. They couldn't stop at 50. When they returned to Pennsylvania, they launched a quiet revolution. Over the next 6 years, they worked tirelessly, pulling strings, raising funds, forging documents, and collaborating with resistance groups. Their efforts grew exponentially, and by the end of the war, they had saved over 1,000 children from persecution. Decades later, on another Valentine's Day, one of the children they had saved, now a grandfather himself, stood before a crowd. Tears streamed down his face as he spoke of the Krauses. "They didn't just save my life, they saved generations. They taught us what love truly is: courage in the face of evil, and selflessness in the face of despair." Gilbert and Eleanor Krause's story isn't just history. It's a reminder that even in the darkest times, love can be the most powerful force of all. Their legacy endures, not as a tale of charity, but as a testament to the strength of the human spirit. On that Valentine's Day in 1939, they didn't just rescue children. They redefined what it means to love.
Like, follow, and subscribe for more fascinating stories.